posted this like Minnesota Vikings at Carolina Panthers.
Oh, because Minnesota
Where it
Vikings
used to being like,
are in the Panthers' home stadium, so it's at.
Yeah. I get that part. It's just confusing.
I don't know why
me
they do
personally
it.
because
The
we're
TV
used to
thing.
having the home team on the left.
Yeah, when we do it, it's just, it'll be Storm versus Panthers, in Melbourne,
etc.
Yeah, etc. Like the home team gets first dibs.
We'll see. The US we want quick, so if you go at, most of the audience will get, so Carolina is at home against Minnesota.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a nice quick way to sort of hash it out. You're like, oh, these guys are visiting these guys. Sweet.
It just looks insanely unnatural.
Yeah, we've got a lifetime of indoctrination.
Your guys thing, so don't feel left out.
That's our only issue, is just a lifetime of indoctrination. But yeah, so that should be right. I turned it down a fair bit, so we might not be able to hear it the best. I don't know how the audio will go, but
I know enough to know what's going on, so
yeah, exactly. So hopefully we can still hear it, because I just want to still obviously better hear you guys, because if you say something and I can't hear you, that defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
I guess.
that would kind of help.
Like, hey Flex, what's this happening?
They're like, what?
What? I can't.
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin. What?
Oh man, I haven't heard that for a long time. Used to watch a fair bit of wrestling, so back in the day.
I do. WWE product has gotten just, and here's the thing: when you release 3/4 of your talent, and everybody's thinking, why are they doing the same matches over and over? Because they have nobody else. They let go of everybody else. What's the point?
Yeah, it always felt like it had so much more personality back in the day.
No, well now I don't think it's that. It's just more of Vince is becoming too old and needs to pass it on to Triple H.
Yeah.
But Vince is stubborn.
Oh, of course he is. I mean, look who he is. Yeah. I don't think anyone's surprised by that.
Yeah.
Like, I flicked something on the other day on KO, like the other week, and I saw, like, was it Jeff Hardy? And I'm like, what the hell? Didn't even realize it was.
His brother Matt's in the rival company, so they have to.
Yeah. Like, I thought they'd completely retired or whatever, but.
Well, Jeff's on his last chance because he's been having too many DUIs as of late.
Ugh. That's not going to go well.
Okay. Anyway, back to past game.
Yeah, so Vikings Panthers Week 6 highlights. So the way this is set out, this is Vikings at Panthers. Is that how we'd say it for this one? Okay, cool.
Like, so either way you say it, it means the same thing.
Yeah, so basically Panthers home game for this one.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we'll flick it up and see how we go. Gotta admit, I like their colours too. It really annoys me that the Sharks in our comp basically have the black and blue. What the hell?
Yeah, you'd think black and blue would make so much more sense for a Panthers style of team.
Yeah, like that. I really like their colours. That's why it annoys the crap out of me, because like I would love to have that kind of colour scheme for my computer setup, my chair and everything. But then it's like I can't because it's the Sharks, and then it's bad juju.
Do most teams have a predominantly white jersey for their away games?
Yes. Unless you're Dallas, then it's white for home, blue for away.
Yeah, how do you guys handle that? Because I don't remember, me and Aaron were having a conversation about it. I know the AFL had a big drama about jersey clashing.
The NFL and Nike do their thing with that. It's not really.
Has it never come up?
Not really.
Yeah. Well, I guess like this. I mean, if they've all got that like really big alternate with like the white or whatever, or like you said with Dallas with blue.
As long as the colors differentiate enough to where you can easily tell which team, then it's fine. Here, for example.
Yeah. Like you'd never confuse these two.
Yeah.
In the NFL, the rookie out of South Carolina. Garner with 5 rushing TDs. First and goal from the 2. It's Hubbard.
That looks so easy.
NFL touchdown.
Hey, when
Are
you
there
can,
more ways to score other than just touchdowns and field goals?
safety, when you run in the back of your own end zone, you get 2 points for the other team.
Oh, so it's like an own goal in soccer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do they
Does that
use
get you the
that?
ball back or something though?
It's happened, just not as frequent as.
Empty backfield, 3rd down and 7 from midfield. Cousins complete.
So you can sacrifice 2 points, give them to the other team, and then
But here's the trick: team that gets the 2 points also gets the ball.
Yeah, so they're basically sacrificing points for possession.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Oh,
yeah, okay.
arms him off.
Cousins on 3rd down, throws.
The sidelines are so bloody thick.
Well, they have.
Well,
I remember when watching through the finals, they seemed big part of the game seems to be around those sidelines, and they spend
whether it's
ages.
inbounds or not.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time analyzing that.
Has to be 2 feet in bounds. There's a for it to be in bounds.
2nd and 7. Darnold wrapped up. Down he goes.
So any sort of touch with the thick sideline is...
Yeah.
Okay.
From the 15-yard line, it's Cook found a hole up the middle.
So my understanding is that most teams have 2 sets of players, one for attack and one for defense.
Offense, one for defense. Some players choose to play both, though.
Oh, do they?
Okay.
I have seen.
I've never heard of that before. Oh,
Oh yeah, and also yes, we use yards instead of meters.
Yeah, I knew that part. It doesn't look like this would be as tiring as sports like NRL or AFL though, because of how stop-start it is.
Some teams use hurry-up offense where they go no huddle, like near ends of halves. So
it seems so difficult to defend on their own line like that. Like we'd call that goal line defense. I don't know how you call it. Oh, ankle tap. Like it seems like as soon as a team gets down there, it's almost impossible to defend.
Well, it depends on the defense, like I said.
Oh, that looked painful. Yeah, I guess it depends on the team how good they are.
Yeah.
3rd down and 18. Cousins hands it off. Madison, flag.
NRL players just take tackles with no helmets and no shoulder pads.
Oh yeah, and remember, you only get 4 downs here. You don't get 6.
Yeah, which is kind of cool because you've got to really take your opportunities.
So how do the downs work? Do you have to get past a certain
10 yards.
point?
10 yards.
So you have to make 10 yards worth of progress
For that yellow line,
for the counter to reset.
that yellow line graphic is, you have to get past that.
I love how they do that because it makes it nice and easy to understand. It's like, all right, this is your objective. Get past that. First down.
Yeah, also, I will say this, you also have to have the ball in order to do that.
Yeah, that guy kind of screwed it.
Last second field goal to beat the Lions last Sunday. On 3rd and 1.
Whoa, that was a horrible pass. So how do they handle all that sort of stuff? Because he's just thrown into someone and... Do they maintain possession?
Either receivers ruled down or a ball rolls out of bounds. There are some other instances as well. It's going to take too long for me to explain.
No, that's all right.
But yeah.
I've noticed this.
That's why each team gets 2 challenges.
Yeah.
And
they're definitely going to get holding on the offensive line.
Holding. Offense, number 67.
Spent the last 7 seasons with
yeah, it's like impeding a defense and try scoring.
So how are they
Basically
supposed...
calling out a penalty, was it?
Yeah. So how do they determine that? Like, what are they allowed to do when they're...
Well, I mean, we saw in that instance, the guy was like literally trying to rip his jersey off.
Yeah.
was in the vicinity of Robbie
Some of these
Anderson.
penalties are like, what the hell?
Holding. Defense, number 24.
Because they seem to be trying to hold each other, and then sometimes it's called and sometimes
Well,
it's not.
it depends on, yeah, like I said, aggressive, like face mask. Remember, you have helmets.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I think was just.
Defense, number 21. That's a 5-yard penalty. An automatic.
Yeah. Yes, he should have been penalized for there, but I think he should have done pass interference because he didn't go for the ball.
Yeah.
Throws over the middle. Nice tackle made by Everson
We
Griffin.
call that an obstruction.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it is.
They start from the 8-yard
And straight to the sin bin for you, good sir.
Okay, we don't have sin bins. It's just yard penalties.
So what's the harshest penalty you have?
They dodged a bullet. They could have had an interception
Well,
there.
certain pass interference plays, its ball will be placed at the spot of the foul,
Yep.
and if it's on the goal line,
Oh. That was nice. Yeah, so basically
Yes,
it's all about sort of field position basically.
yeah.
They give it to the fullback, CJ.
Oh, he's got some nice feet on him.
You don't have like yellow cards or red cards or anything.
Not just yard penalties. I can see y'all's heads trying to recruit some of these guys for.
Some of these runners are great. They got a really nice like fleet-footedness to them. They've got a really. That guy had a really good step on him.
The college game.
Like that. You look at that duck and weave. Like you get him in a backline play.
All broke the plane at the goal line. That counts.
Stretching out, hand down.
It depends on the knee.
Down. Knee was not down when that ball
Yeah,
crossed the goal
broke the
line.
plane.
There's Justin Jefferson right there.
So what was the part about the knee there? If his knees hit the ground or something, it wouldn't count.
Now and then play would have been ruled dead at the 1.
Ah, okay.
Back of the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, it's a little too high. Just stop yelling at me, Kenny. Jeez.
All right, Sam Darnold and the Panthers go back to work. Pass is caught by DJ.
He fumbled it.
Yep.
The Vikings recover. Eric Kendricks comes up with the football.
Down their own end too.
All those score updates on the ticker down the bottom because they have so many games playing at
Yeah.
once.
TV thing.
Well, I remember back in the day, they'd say to you, they'd have an update, and they say, you know, if you don't want to know the score, look away now, and they'd tell you an update. That was before we had like 8 games a week all played live, and a draw specifically set up for that.
There, Peter in. That counts.
Look at that.
Bounced off his mask.
Dragging the feet in.
Nice.
Second down and 5.
Oh!
And then DJ Moore breaks free. Picks up a first down.
Going with 4 wide receivers.
So in NFL, what's
2 tight ends,
considered
4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends.
a high-scoring game, or what's a decently high score for a team?
Nearly enough.
That, getting
It,
mad because you
it
could have
depends.
blocked the
If it's a defense, if
And then the takeaway
it's
by
an
the
off,
defense
it's an
is
air show
Jefferson.
where no defense shows up. It can get into like the combined 100-something point range. Combined 100-something point range.
Jeez, that's pretty
Do you do
good.
that much?
Cousins
Yeah.
lays one up for Jefferson. He's got it.
Good
Because
coverage by
so
Dante
far,
Jackson.
42 points
Better
combined.
throw and catch by Justin Jefferson.
26-yard connection. And now it is close.
Man, that guy is a hell of a runner.
The 30 finally brought down at the 25-yard line. Big play coming
Old
up
Panther,
here,
what would you
third down
consider
and
a
6 for
high-scoring or a high combined scoring game in the NRL?
Cousins
I'd say
to the
probably
end
like
zone.
60-ish,
Diving attempt.
50 to
Yes,
60.
somewhere in that 60 to 70 range.
38-yard attempt.
As for individual team scores, I'd say probably about 40.
It is
Yeah.
now a 2-score game.
To hit 50 or 60 used to be that 1 or 2 a season, well, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be like an out there game.
And I think the Storm did it like 4 or 5 times this year.
This year it was absolutely blown out of the water because of the rule changes. That's why personally I think a lot of the records this year shouldn't count.
See, right there, face mask.
Second and 10. Darnold Taken down, football loose. Vikings recover. Tomlinson falls on it.
23 sacks.
I think two of the Storm's 50-point plus scores came before the changes.
Third down and 4. Cousins downfield, and that's broken up. Thielen, the intended
They put
receiver,
more than
moved
50
in.
on the Dogs.
From the right hand
But that would
And
happen
they
anyway.
did it to the, and they did it to the Rabbits as well.
Missed it.
And I think that was like round 9, the week before Magic Round or something.
Yeah.
Darnold on first down. Takes
Oh, the dummy and run.
across midfield. Still
Oh yeah, the quarterback can run too.
inside the 30 and then slides.
Quarterback, their
That was good. I
He-
like that.
So he didn't get
Yeah,
tackled,
quarterback.
but he slid.
It's like a
so that-
voluntary tackle.
Darnold
Yeah.
over the middle.
Okay.
It's caught by
See, that actually used to be a penalty in rugby league. It's technically still in the rule book, but they never call it. So you know when you see a fullback in the in goal and he'll dive out on the ground,
Darnold looking.
Yeah.
And now
that's
he
actually a
throws
voluntary tackle and it's against the rules.
23 yards.
They just never call it,
Field goal attempt. Zane Gonzalez.
but it is in the rule book.
It is good. So it's an
Yeah.
8-point game.
Yeah, right.
Well, here, just as long as the player doesn't hit helmet to helmet,
Cook
defensive
over
player,
100 yards
you're
on the
good.
ground.
Oh, yeah.
Cousins throws wide open, taking it across midfield. Is
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened. It's like just as a game collectively, at some point we decided the rule was redundant and don't worry about calling it. I don't know how that works.
Sometimes you wonder in this game too. Oh yeah, and if you don't, unless you go for it on 4th down, you have to punt the ball away to the other team if you don't get the first down.
That
As you
makes
see there.
sense.
Peterson has gone to the locker room.
Can they take the risk and run it, or do they have to kick?
Oh yeah.
Darnold from
Yeah.
his end zone throws, bobbled and dropped once again.
In fact, 3 of them happened, 3 times it happened in games this week. So
Oh, there you go.
Down at 10. Darnold fires.
Oh my, that was huge.
By Ian Thomas. Carolina stays alive in Minnesota territory. Down to 1:10 remaining.
How many timeouts do teams get? And when did they reset? Do they
Half.
reset each quarter?
yeah, they reset each half, not quarter.
Hopeful touchdown
Okay.
to tie the game.
And how many do they get?
3.
Oh, he's dropped it.
Panthers must get to the 26-yard line. for
Right
a
here,
first down.
4th down.
Empty backfield. Darnold
Oh yeah, he's taking the risk.
looking for more. He's got it. DJ Moore.
What's that?
makes the catch.
46 seconds in the 4th. So that's
Yeah,
actually pretty
so-
huge.
Quarterback keeper.
Yeah.
First and goal
So they're like
from
going
the
for it here.
Darnold
Yeah.
throws, end zone,
Oh.
touchdown.
But
Bobby
in
Anderson.
strict, that's only 6. They're down by 2. They need the 2-point conversion.
Pull to within 2.
Yes, you can use 2-point conversions here. Like this.
This is for the tie. Shovel
Oh!
pass. They've got
I even got bamboozled there. I didn't realize where the ball had gone. I was watching the fake runner down this side.
Need to go approximately 34 yards. Cousins gets away from Brian Burns. Cousins will pick up a first down.
And the reason why they run out of bounds in this situation, they stop the clock.
From the
That makes
45-yard
sense.
line. Cousins over the middle, complete to Osborne. From the Carolina 37, Cousins pass. There it is, down to the 28-yard line, is caught by Thielen. 47-yard attempt.
Oh, is he gonna kick it?
From the right
Miss it.
Joseph from 47. It is wide to the right, no good.
Yeah, but remember they have overtime.
Second
Or shall we
down
say
and 4.
golden
It's
point
Cook.
if you want to
Yeah.
determine it right.
So it does work like Golden
Both
Point then.
receivers down at the bottom.
Somewhat. They've changed the rules over the years.
Third down and 3. Cousins looking that way. Now he throws, and it is KJ Osborne who makes the catch. A touchdown would win the game for Minnesota. A field goal, and Carolina would have an opportunity. Here's Cook inside the 30.
Oh, it's old mate again.
Down at the 24-yard line.
Sorry, what was that?
Like they said,
Madison remains in for
if they got a
Cook.
field
Second
goal,
down and
the other team will get a
13.
chance to
As
score.
Cousins
If they got a touchdown,
throws.
game's over.
Osborne, touchdown.
Did he get it?
Vikings win.
Oh, they said in the
Automatic-
commentary said he got it.
Automatically review scoring plays, though. That's the thing.
Ah, so it's like our
Bunker,
bunker now, where they automatically.
review it. Yeah, that's just scoring plays.
Okay.
Now we get to this week's game on the next one.
That should automatically play through, I assume, because you playlisted it.
Yeah.
Alright, Panthers versus New York.
Those are in New York.
So did they end up awarding that? I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, both feet were in bounds. And the ball broke the plane.
Oh, okay. So that's a loss. What are you doing, guys? Oh yeah, so that's their alternate. They got the white with the blue stripes.
Yeah, that's the away jersey.
So much better than pink. Imagine wearing pink as your away jersey.
Well, for October, NFL does have pink portions of like the towels the players have on their pants. And
Yeah.
pink because of October.
Oh yeah.
Skin awareness.
Like, I don't mind it having it. It's just I miss having the black and white alternating sort of thing.
I will say this, they are a lot better than some of the ugly uniforms I have seen over the years.
We've even had worse. What's your,
I did some Googling on that, actually. Believe me, y'all, you will want to literally gouge your eyes out over some of these.
We'll have to pull up some, see what the worst ones over the years are.
Oh, don't worry.
Could definitely be a discussion topic for future reference, because that'd be good.
There's a whole website dedicated to documenting all the uniforms worn.
Oh, nice.
So, I have plenty of material.
Yeah, I think either the pass rush got there late over Moten, it's right, and it comes out of his hand kind of goofy.
How do you drop that?
That was right into the basket, like right there. He's so disappointed. You go to all that effort to get the play going, and then he just cold drops it. Like if that was NRL, the halfback would be like in his face going off. And don't have Mitch Moses.
They just can't show it on camera.
Yeah, like it's not safe for home the kids.
Yeah. Let's just say a couple of N-bombs would be thrown in there.
Yeah, well, I think we had Mitch Moses with the C-bomb in there. It was get up. Then
yeah,
get up. F me, you. That was actually Easter Monday at ANZ Stadium. I was there. That was fun times. That was the year they won the spoon.
And yep, right there.
You're out.
23 personnel for the Giants. 2 backs, 3 tight ends, trying to run some big boy football. Devontae Booker with the second effort.
I'd run it 4 times in a row if I needed to.
That count?
No.
No, you missed it. Okay. Oh wow, that was way off.
Quarterback sneak.
We'll keep it on the ground. Booker.
And nope.
That was a good tackle.
Sam Franklin stepping up.
Was their last attempt, and does that mean it's a handover?
Late pressure on Darnold, who just has to get rid of the football. It's loose. Are they going to rule it incomplete or not?
Intentional grounding. Number 14. Offense.
That's really nice.
So what's that ruling? Intentional grounding.
Well, if that rule's confusing as all heck, that most of us don't even understand it. So.
Okay. We've got some of those.
Carolina bringing some heat. Jones looking one-on-one. Incomplete for Slayton. So here's the former Carolina Panther, Graham Gano. From 49 yards, he's able to deliver.
And with that penalty, they were awarded a safety.
Seems weird that so soon into the game they'd go for the field goal.
Well, hey, take the points. You don't want to wind up with no points on the drive.
Yeah. It's a big difference between us, like, because we can take a team down that end and just keep them there with defensive pressure. Whereas they're just like, no, we're taking points and off we go.
Remember, it's 15-minute quarters, not 2 40-minute halves.
Yeah.
And the main form of defensive pressure we have to work with is by
And
making them
intercepted.
have to go through repeat sets, i.e. with dropouts or forced dropouts or
Yeah.
like.
I don't think they have anything like that.
Really bad play by Sam
I don't
Darnold.
think so either.
Blitz coming. There's a slant. There's Slayton. He's got the first down. Out across the
Gives
30 to
the attacking team a chance to really just
the best defensive rookie last year.
I agree.
Under pressure,
wind them
there
down
was
and
Chin hitting Daniel Jones right on cue. Third down.
burn them out defensively,
Too far into Giants territory.
theoretically making it easy to score.
Good blitz pickup.
Unless you're the West Tigers and you don't seem to like picking, grubbering the ball into the end goal and going for those dropouts.
Yes. Oh, did you see all that talk? Apparently Brooks going to Newcastle.
Oh, and then it came out the other day on the Tigers socials that
Hold on. Okay.
Sheensy had released a
and
statement.
he got both feet
Oh,
down before he ran, so that
just
counts.
game of like inches.
Oh, and if you're wondering why that middle clock on the scoreboard, that 3-2-1, it's how much time you have left to get the ball snapped off.
Oh, yeah, so they got essentially like a scrum clock.
30-second clip, but they
Yeah.
only show here for the last 10 seconds.
Yeah. Well, that's
Leaf
good. That
flicker.
way you can't waste too much time. That'd suck.
Did you see that play?
That was pretty good. I like that. That was...
That's legal. That's legal.
So they passed it to the quarterback.
Yeah. Really special, as they call it.
At what point does the clock stop ticking down and just goes into time off or whatever you call it?
It depends. Well, the play clock, it really is just the graphics department at the network. In real life, if the other clock, run out of bounds or first down, or an incomplete pass.
It's the second time that's happened where they like freak out and he's like, oh no, what am I doing?
It happens.
Alright.
And not being
Panthers look just disorganized.
What'd I tell you? Remember, if you look at the records right next to the logos,
3-3-1-5.
3 wins, 3 losses, and 1-5. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Team that's openly tanking versus possible wild card.
And they getting beat.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Could be Baltimore, though. It's always worse.
Oh, wow.
And that would be like the
Aaron's
Tigers
gonna
losing
see
to the
in a few-
Bulldogs in the
As
final round
Aaron's
of the
going to see in
season.
a few minutes.
Yeah, you'd never see anything like
The
that.
Bengals scored.
take some pressure off the big fellas up front.
Nah, the Tigers would never lose to the Bulldogs in the final round of the season. Never.
Given
God.
Sunday.
Not happening.
Oh my god, that, yeah.
Or for you guys, it'd be like Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
Bright spots for this Carolina Panthers football organization, the way they played on the defensive side.
They'll run it with Penny. They're in field goal range, so they'll keep it conservative. Chance to extend the lead against his former.
So you guys have one game on a Friday, one game on a Monday, and the rest all on Sunday.
One game. Are you talking your time or my time?
Your time.
One game on Thursday, one game, all the rest on Sunday, and then one game on Monday. However,
On Thursday.
Thanksgiving Day, there are 3 on Thursday, the rest on Sunday, and then Monday.
Interesting that they've done it that way.
They play on Christmas Day too, don't they?
This year only one. It only happens like when the stars align. Air quotes. Like if Christmas were to happen on a Sunday, all the other games get moved to Saturday, and
Yeah.
then
Okay.
there'd be like 1 or 2 Sunday games at most.
Yeah. That's crazy. I wonder why they do it like that.
TV revenue.
So everyone sort of goes out Saturdays and then they go home and do their home stuff and watch the...
Thanksgiving. Well, the Thanksgiving games are interesting because 2 games.
Yep.
Teams always host. Dallas hosts somebody, Detroit hosts somebody, and then the third game is just like whoever wants to do it.
Makes
There's no
sense.
like set games, no like set matchups for those occasions.
Yeah, it basically depends on who you play.
Oh, okay, yeah. When we have our special occasion games like that, they generally try to get the same teams to play every year. So, like, you'll have Aaron, his Tigers will play the Eels on the Easter Monday game, I think it is.
Yep.
For example. So,
Well,
yeah.
Then there's Good Friday. There's two
hold
matchups
on.
that always happen on Good Friday.
Hey, let me
Actually, no,
hold on,
one.
let me really quick because I have the stuff here. Let me look
Yep.
up who the 3 Thanksgiving games are.
See, it's the Rabbits
Detroit
and the
will
Bulldogs.
play. Detroit will play Chicago. Dallas will play the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Saints will take on the Bills on Thanksgiving.
Okay, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Because, yeah, like, for example, we will have, like, the Anzac Day game. You'll always be Roosters.
There's 2 of those now.
Saints. Yeah, which now there's 2 of those, but it's always the same teams every year. Like, when they do the draw at the end of the... Sorry,
Two teams I said hosting are the only... the 2 teams that are, like, guaranteed to host are the only consistent ones. The opponents are, like... Sometimes they'll go in division, sometimes they'll go, like, rivalry from back in the day, so on.
Yeah.
Same thing with Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of Detroit...
Oh, yeah, so next one up is Bengals and Lions.
Because with some of our holiday games, I guess, they alternate who hosts, but some they don't. Like there's the Anzac Day Storm vs Warriors, which is always in Melbourne because of the light show deal that they do. But the Dragons and the Roosters swap hosting rights. The Tigers and the Eels swap hosting rights annually.
I think that once all your you-know-what stuff is settled, Warriors should get, like, all their games at home next year.
See, that's what I said on our last stream. I'm like, give them something. Now there's 2 of us. Won't be long and everyone will agree.
Volandi's just forced to listen now.
Yep. We're an overwhelming majority.
An overwhelming majority of 2.
I think that's what they call a groundswell. No, but like they've put 2 seasons away from home. Their fans have had nothing. Like, just give them a season where they can stay home all year.
Yep, and intercepted.
Like, even the Storm, to a lesser extent, have had hardly any games at home for the past 2 seasons.
Yeah. But have had 2 full seasons.
Yeah. And the Storm, a lot of their players are actually from Queensland, so they technically all went home for the year.
Yeah. So I'd like to note the Lions record at the time.
3-2.
No, Lions, the other side.
Oh, the other 0-5. Holy, I just realized what you were saying there. That's crazy.
It's not a good start to the season now, is it?
Nope. Thankful.
So if you see a record like that, that team's tanking, yeah?
It depends.
So there are teams that are just that bad.
I just feel bad for the fans of those teams because they're watching their team go out.
Detroit's been going through this since like the late 60s, early 70s.
Oh, wow. That is a long time.
Detroit's never been to a Super
Detroit
Bowl.
are the Parramatta of the NFL. Gotcha.
We get you now.
Has made a deep finals run.
Yeah,
Detroit hasn't made it past the first round of the playoffs since, get this, 1973.
Jesus. That is, what, 40, 50 years now? That's insane.
Bobby Lane. No, there was the guy on the sideline with no helmet on catching it does not count.
Just run away with it, bro. Go for it. They must have the most resilient fans if it's taken them that long of just pain.
Generations too.
Yeah, something like entire generations just have known nothing but failure.
And when Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders retire in their primes because they don't want to deal with your bullshit.
Seriously, they retired.
That bad.
And how good were they? Were they like really decent players? Was it like a big shock at the time?
Both are in the Hall of Fame.
Holy crap, so Hall of Famers retired to get away from a club.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like they needed back medication because they carried their teams on their backs.
That is harsh.
It's been a struggle for an explosive offense like the Bengals. He's actually run 4 times in the game and has
like conspiracy theorists and like spiritual people. It's the curse of Bobby Lane.
Ah, okay, yep.
Yeah, because the Lions traded Bobby Lane, so he said Lions ain't gonna win crap again.
He's been right so far.
So far.
he put a curse on them. I've never really been much into the superstition stuff, but my wife's very she's superstitious about certain things.
You might want to run that by her, see if that may have some legitimacy to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run it by my expert here.
Subject matter expert.
Yeah. But like I've picked up a little bit over the years. Obviously we've been together for like over 10 years now, so I have like game day rituals and stuff where I've got to drink out of my Panthers mug my tea during I have a first half and second half tea out of my Panthers mug and stuff.
Last year I did all that stuff the opposite effect, so I'm guessing 2020 was really that bad of a year.
You also ignore me completely during the game.
I don't touch my phone. Like the screen stays off during play. I might peek at half time, but even that's just a little one. Don't want to tempt fate. But it's some weird thing. I'm like, oh my god, I picked up your superstitious stuff.
Liking the 17-0 scoreline.
Complete.
Yeah, it's looking pretty convincing though.
For now.
For now, that's so ominous. We need some like dun
Pretty
dun
convincing.
dun.
No, just wait. Just wait. Remember, this is Detroit we're talking about here.
They're 0-5. What threat do they pose?
No. I mean, how badly it's going to get.
Oh, even better.
That was a good play though.
Yeah, it's like they have spurts. Like they've made the playoffs. It's just they haven't gotten past the first round when they do.
Yeah.
They have moments of brilliance, but they're few and far between.
Yeah, there should have been a flag because he didn't go for the ball. That's pass interference.
The game here, pressure on Burrow, going deep. Jamar Chase, he's got
We are.
he's tackled, or he would have been in the end zone at the 21-yard line. Another big gainer, and Jerry Jacobs saved a touchdown.
That's a nice ref.
Nixon runs into his own man.
And it really doesn't depend on the ref. It sometimes depends on who's playing. New England. Tom Brady.
They shine his shoes while they're there. Give him a back rub.
I think the NFL has been on Brady's dick for so long. And demonetized.
Yeah. Just
So how long
channel
until Brady's
deleted.
supposed to retire?
We don't know. We're just hoping and praying.
It's kind of like the Cameron Smith for us. Everyone's like, oh, he'll retire this year. 5 years later.
He finally did it. Maybe that's an omen.
Yeah, maybe. Because, yeah, we had that talk for at least 3 or 4 years or something. Everyone's like,
for like 10.
Yeah, Brady's like 50 now, isn't he?
Oh, he's in his 40s. He wants to play till he's over 50.
That's crazy. And it's not like he even needs to. Like, he could retire and just live off what he's made.
You know, there have been talks comparing Tom Brady to Joe Montana.
Yep.
There's one knock that Brady has that Montana doesn't. Joe Montana never lost a Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Brady's lost.
Zach Taylor's offense. No matter who's in there clicking against this Lions team.
Hey, they scored some points at least.
What do you think? He gets the football, give it to Swift, and he's into the end zone, and that's a Lions touchdown.
Yeah, they scored a touchdown.
It can be done.
He'll get better, and he'll be better for it.
Yeah, at least other games haven't been shut out.
On 2-point conversions, the answer is yes. Amon-Ra St. Brown across the goal
I feel for you guys.
He's still for a Heisman Trophy winner, first overall pick. He still carries a little chip, a little edge, and maybe that's what makes him.
Oh, now we're about to get to the other blowout game.
Yeah, that was a smashing.
This
Ravens.
one's worse.
Oh, really? Oh. 5-1, 4-2. Ah, so they're playing a decent team now.
Yeah. Hence why it was hailed as such a big upset.
I remember looking at Sportsbet the odds for this one. I think the Bengals were like $3.20 or something.
Should put some money down.
So that was. Well, I did, but I put money down on 5 other games. I was like, yeah, I'm not touching the Bengals.
Yeah.
I'm picking
I was
4 or 5
in
favorites
Reno
and
I
hoping
bet
it works.
Once, and that was when the Niners went all injured to hell. I'm like, nope, not betting again. Nope, sorry. Not willing to jinx it.
Yeah, I don't bet really much. I did a few years ago, a few little bets, and over like a 1 weekend, I made like $30, and since then I haven't done it again.
I picked 5 of the favorites from all of this morning's games, and 3 of them won.
Okay. Not bad. Over
The
500.
Panthers were one of the ones that lost. So, old Panther, screw you.
I think, regardless of who bet it, I think if you saw that game, that was just. I don't think it would have mattered.
So, I had the Panthers, who lost. I then had the Falcons, the Patriots, and the Cardinals, who all won. And then the 49ers, who lost.
Oh, thanks.
He jinxed it. It's all your fault.
Yeah, if you notice my logo.
Nah, I didn't notice. Didn't notice anything. Not at all.
Oh, that's who that is.
I'm from San Francisco, born and bred.
Well, at least you can say you're not a bandwagoner. We got a lot
You're
of.
welcome.
We got a lot of Storm people.
My family's a Niner fan since they were at Keysar Stadium back in the early days.
Jeez, how long was that?
1949.
Holy, that's a long time.
Yep. Yeah, not bandwagon.
We got the Storm have a lot of that.
Yeah, I wonder why.
There's 2.
Like there's a lot of people who've gone from like their teams. I'll have a few bad years and I'll be like, you know what, I'm going to support the Storm.
Or the Roosters.
I mean, I've supported them. It's tough because we had that stretch of like, holy fuck, we're bad.
Yeah, I think most people know bad times. I haven't known. We've only had a few teams where it's like, I think Storm and Roosters are the only ones who are like, what's not playing finals? I don't understand this.
Yeah, for Patriots fans, they're just getting used to the not making the playoffs thing.
What is this?
The Tigers fans just wishing we could make the finals.
Well, hey, if the Bengals are this good, you guys have hope.
It's 10-3 at the
Well,
moment.
it is, though.
Assume Baltimore went into these favorites.
Yeah, because they have Lamar Jackson, the dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, I remember during the playoffs
Yeah,
last year, it was just constant. It's funny, even though Brady's obviously the big name, but I heard so much about this guy. So I guess he's going to be the one to watch from now on.
Well, I mean, he still is. It's just this game, he did not have it.
Is quarterback the most important position?
Oh, yeah. If you look at all the players they mentioned, like big stars, Brady, Mahomes, Jackson, Garoppolo, etc., quarterbacks. There are other important positioners, but quarterback is what you build the team around.
The quarterback is always the one who's yeeting the ball into the stratosphere, right?
Or handing it off to the running back. Or running the ball himself.
So that person who just passed the ball then, was that the quarterback?
When we say dual threat, we mean he can pass and run the ball.
So he touches it every play, pretty much.
Well, no, the center does first, if you look at it.
Yeah.
Center hikes the ball to the quarterback.
he gives it to the quarterback, so...
Yeah.
However, that's crazy.
A lot of people say that exchange is a bit weird because if you look at the thing in certain formations, the guy literally hands his hands up his butt. And it's funny because Burrow was in his second year. Last year he missed a second half of the season because he got injured. This is a comeback for him. More an overall pick of 2020. Aaron, tanking does get you something useful.
Touchdown throw. The Bengals have recaptured the lead. Uzama's second touchdown reception from Joe Burrow. Straight games of 2 touchdown passes or more for Burrow. Fake the bell. 1st and 10. Going away with the block. And here he goes to Bateman.
That was all right. That worked. I mean, maybe it looks different when you watch the whole game, but it doesn't look like Baltimore crashed and burned too hard. It looked like the Bengals, I went to call them the Tigers then, which it is a Tiger technically, but it looks like they just played well. They played up to the Baltimore.
I'm going to mute myself for 1 second.
No worries. He went straight through.
See ya bloody later.
Where's bloody Dan Gannett when you need him? Goodbye.
Yeah, you know, Dan Gannett whenever you hear his voice.
Good, but he grew on me a lot this year.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. The first year I started watching, I re-listened to all the Triple M broadcasts.
Yeah.
Most of them had Dan Gannett on them. I'm not gonna lie, there was a time where I watched the highlights like earlier by myself in his voice. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of hoping he. Well, the main commentator here is America's version of Dan Gannett.
Oh yeah.
The trick is he's on like the B crew TV wise.
Oh yeah. This is something nice about when they bring that sort of natural enthusiasm.
Oh yeah. He was out of bounds.
What happened here? That's a mess. They're all tangled up.
Well, I've seen where 2 people's face masks get stuck together.
Oh really?
Unintentionally, obviously.
Yeah. It's that Mike Tyson meme. Now Keith. No, as I was saying before, it looks like the Bengals sort of.
Yeah, it looks close, but you know that's highlights. It only cuts out. It cuts out.
Oh, he's gone through. He's done a Tommy Turbo.
Let's just say end zone celebrations are a little bit regulated nowadays because A, TV, and B, NFL, it's often sometimes people call it the no fun league.
Oh, really? Well, you look at our Panthers this year, like they don't have like celebrations to this caliber like you guys get, but they just sort of get happy and excited, and they started getting called arrogant just for hours. I mean, I couldn't imagine our media and commentators watching American football and watching them do their celebrations.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
That was insane.
Yep.
He's got spiders on him. $41-17. They definitely went back after that game a bit embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's it. That's an insane score considering how good Baltimore
Now
are.
we're getting to the neutral games.
Yeah. So did you put your own? Did you put the San Francisco games on here at all?
We had a bye week last week.
Okay,
so there was no game, and this game I just couldn't stomach to talk about.
That's understandable.
Why we talk about it?
I'm just gonna stop. But anyway.
I mean, I suffer through the Tigers every week. So...
Yeah, Aaron understands the pain, don't you worry.
Yeah, but we're relatively decent.
And if I think back to 3 years ago, I can remember some pretty bad games.
Brady keeps, throws, and caught. O.J. Howard for the touchdown.
I mean, I subjected myself to watching the Tigers lose to the Storm 66-16 this year.
Oh, that's harsh.
Well, okay, well, I mean, our game wasn't a blowout, but...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Buccaneers, Tom Brady's team.
Hurts buying time, throws, and caught. What a grab by Watkins.
Carolina's bye week is week 13, and Cincinnati's is week 10.
Huh.
Bye week's just a week off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have bye weeks here too.
I think we have more though. We got 2 at the moment. I think.
One. Each team gets 1 around Origin, but every team gets a week that's just not on the draw.
Yeah, that's right. We have that 1 week where it's just blank. It's like the rep round or something. They have Origin on the weekend, which is changing. They're changing that up. Going back to all 3 Wednesdays, I think.
Oh, that's a bit shit. I liked the weekend one.
I like it on the weekend, but I don't like that they get rid of the regular comp for that week.
Well, we don't have any of that, like, magic round stuff. We have... where every team plays at the same venue.
That'd be...
because 32 teams, that'd be a logistical nightmare.
I don't think they'd be able to do that with how many teams you've got. You'd have to have maybe, like, a couple of, like... Yeah, you'd have to have, like, maybe a couple of grounds. And put
you would hope the field's artificial turf.
Yeah. You'd probably have to split it into thirds or something for the whole comp and have, like, that kind of a magic weekend or something. I don't know.
You'd actually have to have, like, a magic week, like 3 or 4 games every day.
Yeah.
I hope the NFL's not listening to this, because they would try that.
Do it. Do it.
So
do it, you pussies.
Yeah, it's the Volandi's approach.
AKA the NFL's Latrell Mitchell. Antonio Brown. The NFL's Latrell Mitchell.
Oh, so what gives him that comparison?
It's because Antonio Brown's like a big dick off the field and is like a team locker room cancer, as they call it. He used to be in Pittsburgh, then was in New England for all of about 5 minutes, or Las Vegas for all about 5 minutes. Then he went to New England for less than 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And then now he's in Tampa Bay.
So it's just jumping around. Can't hold down a spot.
Well, yeah, because nobody in the locker room can understand. This is the only team that's been able to tolerate him so far.
It is Tampa Bay.
Well, they've got Tom Brady, so...
Is that Florida?
Tampa Bay, Florida, yes. Florida man, the team.
Intercepted by Dean. Hurts is just trying to lead it down the field, but Dean ends up becoming the receiver on the play. Over the middle, pass is caught. Great first down.
So how often do the commentators talk about Brady, especially when he doesn't have the ball?
Here's Brown. Nice move, good blocking.
When he's playing, how often do they talk about him? Because if it's anything like Cameron Smith, Tom Trebojevic,
Yeah, it's like
James
one of those.
Smith. Cam Smith on steroids. I have to mute the TV sometimes because it's like, you get it. Y'all have that big of a boner for him. Talk about something else.
Yeah, we get that. You'll have a neutral game and you'll start hearing about Cameron Smith or Tom Trebojevic or something like that.
Says Cam Smith on commentary.
Yeah, be like, oh, and here's Cameron Smith. You're like, God damn it.
yeah, like how he joined.
I will
Nine,
say this
but
though.
they're-
In terms of generic commentator stuff, the team you do not want on an NRL game, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Those two are literal hell. In fact, the two guys commentating here.
Oh, you don't like them to these guys here? Does it all that noise?
Troy Aikman was
Roads
a
of
former
increasing
Dallas
discomfort.
Cowboy, so he's that arrogant.
Ah, okay.
And Joe Buck's just that fucking arrogant.
We do have good and bad commentators here. I think most people aren't particularly fond of Braith and Asta.
Hey,
Like
the
me.
NRL guys that haven't, the NRL guys haven't, from the commentators I've seen on like YouTube and the games we've actually gotten on TV here, I haven't had a dislike for any of them. Obviously, it's different for you guys because you're used to them.
Yeah. Like, for example,
I don't
Braith
have
and...
one.
Sorry?
I don't have one that I hate yet. Yet, mind you.
Yeah. Now, Braith and Tigers fans have a special relationship because he went there for a bit, but
Back Haas.
think of it like a bad ex.
Like Troy Aikman is with the Cowboys. Because Troy Aikman was a part of the Cowboys during their 90s dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of commentators, you can really hear their biases for the teams
Yeah.
that they play
Well,
for.
that happened
And it
to
just gets
Bossy this year, where like Bossy was one of my favorites because he was more just a fan of the game. But this year, he really started writing the Roosters like, you know, they were made of his favorite chocolate. Like, holy crap! And I got really sick of Bossy this year.
Every time Troy Aikman calls a Cowboys game, you think if Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Savage had a baby in the promo department. It's that bad.
That's pretty bad.
That screaming goat would be better than Troy Aikman from the Cowboys game.
That's what everyone says about Gus now after last year's grand final.
Oh, I heard Mr. Warren retired.
What was that, sorry?
9. Mr. Warren retired from 9.
Ray Warren, has he?
Thank you. Yeah, I heard he retired. Hey,
Maybe.
I heard-
Off the top of my head, but I'm pretty tired today. I'm on 2 hours sleep last night, so...
I don't think he
don't worry
has.
about it. I heard he retired. If he wants, he can come just do a one-off NFL game just so U.S. fans can get a taste. I mean, he doesn't have to. I'm just saying that because.
And then him getting the ball thrown to him because he runs good routes. He's got great speed and quickness. Screen for Ertz.
No,
I don't think he has retired yet. I know
No,
Peter
as-
Sterling's leaving 9.
Google's telling me he's still commentating.
Okay, well, I heard like 3 different things, so
Yeah.
remember, U.S. gets NRL information like that much late because 3/4 of it comes out while most of us are asleep.
Yeah. Peter Sterling's the one who retired this year. Maybe that's who you were.
Okay, maybe I did flip it.
I don't know if he's actually retired. I think he's just been... Has he retired, or has he just
I think it's
left?
just he hasn't wanted, from what I can tell, just Googling it quickly, when it's come up, he hasn't really wanted to discuss retirement. So it's one of those things where like you won't know until it happens.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it'll be one of those things where you just like, oh, I wonder what he's doing, and then one day he'll be like, oh, by the way, I've retired now, have fun. Which is exactly what Cameron Smith did.
Oh, Brady's probably gonna have a big hoopla about it.
That's actually gonna be interesting.
In
He'll come out, it'll be a big parade. He'll be like, by the way, I announced my retirement.
He'll be about 70 by the time it happens on a walking stick and everything.
You're being generous. I give it till he's about 80.
Nah, why not go all the way till he's bloody 100?
Well, by that point, he'll have like robotic arms or something.
Yeah, the Terminator.
He'll have enough money to fund his own research for that stuff.
He's banging Giselle too, so.
Now you imagine being his kids and that, like it'd be great. The shadow hanging over you would be insane.
Yeah, the quarterback that has to come after Brady. Oh,
I can luck to him.
Yeah. Yeah, hi, you're replacing Tom Brady. He won Super Bowls and MVPs. This is what you have to live up to.
Yeah, that. Give him.
And if not, you're going to be a spectacular failure.
Yeah. They're going to have to make sure they run out in brown undies. Yes. Pressure is.
Yeah, the Bucks' bottom parts of the unis are already there, so.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Also, I figured when Tom went to Tampa Bay, I figured Florida would remind me of his a retirement home, and then he'd just retire after the Super Bowl. Nope.
Yeah, well, we get that a lot over here, where like players will take that last contract, sort of at their retirement a bit or whatever, and last hurrah, and off they go.
Nope.
Tom Brady's not doing it.
Like, screw you, I'm winning more rings.
No, James Thomas super motivated. Don't trust me. Just trust me.
Yeah, well, that aged well, didn't it?
That's super frustrating because he went from being one of the best forwards in the game to one of the worst in the space of a season. It's like, how does that even happen?
It's like the Herschel Walker trade.
You'll have to enlighten us.
Okay, well in the NFL there's trading. Like you can trade players and draft picks from team to team.
Yeah.
I forget the specific year, but in the 90s, the Cowboys sent Herschel Walker, one of the top running backs at the time, and is a Hall of Famer, so, to the Vikings for, I think it was like 6 or 7 picks in the draft.
Yep.
So, if the Vikings sucked, they would be high picks. Herschel Walker fell off a cliff career-wise, and the Cowboys' picks got them the 90s Super Bowl dynasty.
That's like us getting Paul Momorowski winning a grand final, and they got James Tarmo and him.
It'd be like
a number we're not mentioning.
Yeah, that one.
There's a field goal in this one that is Thurston-esque. Just a heads up. And 2, it'd be like if the NRL had a draft, so just bear with me on this.
You know worries.
If Titans traded... Who's their best guy? I forgot.
Who, the Titans?
Yeah.
These two teams both suck.
I'd have to say probably AJ Brimson.
Okay, if they trade him to, let's say, like St. George, and St. George gave him like 5 first-round picks. This is if the NRL had a draft. Just bear with the scenario. And then, the guy falls off the cliff, and then St. George forms a dynasty. Be like that. I'm just pulling a scenario out of my ass.
Yeah. It makes sense, though.
Oh yeah, by the way, this game was in London.
As a fan of the game, when you see a situation like this where it's a team that's 1-4 versus a team that's 0-5, what are you expecting? Are you thinking it's going to be a good game, or do you think it's going to be a pile of shit?
It's that, you know that Nestle Wonder Ball? With all this random stuff. Think of it as like breaking open that. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna get.
Yeah. We have the Kinder Surprises over here. You sort of open it up and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
what am I getting?
It used to be illegal in the States.
Yeah, I heard that.
This isn't the field
Damn, you were
goal I
missing
was
out.
talking about, but there's one that's Thurston-esque. I apologize, man.
No, we'll keep an eye out for it.
Well, there needs to
I'll
be
let you
one
guys
that's
know.
Benji Marshall-esque from 60 meters. And just flutters over the crossbar.
I don't know why I have to Google 60 meters to yards.
Back in, I think it was either 2009, 10, or 11.
65
Benji
yards.
Marshall
Oh,
kicked a
Well, if the kicker would have gotten it 65 yards, that's the NFL record.
There you go. Yeah, Benji Marshall back in his day kicked a field goal from that far out against, I think it was the Titans, and it barely just made it over the crossbar.
If only the Bills had him during Super Bowl 25.
But you see Dylan Edwards this year kicked a 40-meter field goal like it was nothing. It was 45 meters, I think. And it's like, the hell? Where did that come from? Also, Val Holmes did one as well. On the fly, they went pretty much into the stands too. So, like, the actual kick itself would have gone 50 or 60 meters.
Okay. I will say this, though. Cowboys fans, you better hope that Mr. Val Holmes hasn't contracted the deadly New York Jets disease while he was there. And hope he rebounds, because otherwise, y'all are screwed.
That sounds decidedly negative.
Yep. Well, the New York Jets have been in comp play run since 1968, when they last won the Super Bowl.
Oof.
Val Holmes was under the development of then head coach Adam Gase, so that was going to end badly.
Not a good coach, I take it.
Yeah, he lasted like 3 seasons. Shockingly. Yeah. Cowboys fans should A, hope he didn't contract the dreaded Jets disease, and B, should be thanking him that he landed on the New York Jets. Because if he landed on Kansas City, San Francisco, Minnesota, or Tampa Bay, he'd still be in the States.
Yeah, I wonder how he would have gone in a good team, because obviously athletically he's always been decent, but...
In one of the Madden games I have, so, once I get my PS4 fixed, I may put that on and test that. Or just creating the current Madden just to gig.
But as well, like, would he have gotten a go? Because obviously they've got good rosters.
Oh yeah. Depth.
Yeah. So how does all that work with your depth in that? Because like we have obviously our top 17, who's you run on your bench, and then we have a reserve grade team where.
It's a 53-man main roster. There's practice squad, and there's one other one. I can't remember what it's called, but practice squad's like you're probably not going to travel us, but we'll have you on call in case like all our depth at a certain position is like injured to shit.
Yeah, it's our reserve grade, so they play their own comp, but
we don't have that here. Yes.
Yeah.
Some of them are eligible to play first grade.
So they're kind of like our depth players. They play their own comp, plus they are the practice squad as well, where they're like, in a sense that they're who they train against. So when they do opposed sessions and run plays and stuff, they're the ones who they play against.
The practice squad just doesn't, I don't think, travels with the team.
Yeah. So
that's really the...
Yeah, there is that slight crossover, I guess, in concept.
Yeah, slight.
Jared Hayne and Valentine Holmes didn't make it past the
Jared
practice
Hayne,
squads, did they?
because Jared Hayne played for the Niners.
Oh, so he actually played.
Yeah, he stunk.
Oh, I know he stunk. Val Holmes stunk pretty bad too, didn't he?
Well, Val Holmes was a product of he was on the Jets. Jared Hayne just flat out sucked.
It does surprise me though, because Jared Hayne, in particular, like in his prime, he's probably one of the best just general athletes we've ever produced.
I'm not arguing that. It's just that
it's just crazy that he went over there. And
you look at his 2009 season, for example, and how he dominated.
Like, it's one of the best in the history of the game. Like, it's crazy to hear an NFL fan just be like, no, he was garbage. He was so much garbage. It's almost like hard to say his name.
During my research in general, I did see Jared Haynes stuff. Okay, so I'm not... So,
yeah.
Well, yes, initially I just said, oh, he just sucked. I researched and kind of changed the...
Just more just, yeah.
Okay, so here's the... I mean, the difference between Holmes and, night and day. Jared Hayne, he was on a team with Jim Harbaugh, one of the best coaches in the league.
Oh, wow.
Stunk. Whereas Valentine Holmes was a part of the shitty Jets, who had a coach who couldn't know how to coach if it was literally read to him like a toddler.
That's so bad.
So, yeah.
Did Holmes get any game time at all?
Yes, he did. Well, he didn't get any regular season game time. He did play some snaps in the preseason. He didn't make the 53-man cut, is what I'm trying to say.
That's fair enough. But did you see anything from him that looked like he could if he'd spent some time there?
There were a couple of catches he made. Woo!
So there was potential if he'd stuck at it and had a better team.
Yeah. Hey Niners, you maybe should have claimed him. You wouldn't have blown your previous Super Bowl appearance.
Surprised no one took a punt on him then. Just, I mean, he is a winger by trade mostly when he came there, so one of his big skill sets is, contested catching.
Like one of these teams could have used him.
Yeah, like there are teams here that look like they could use someone who could take a catch in that contested situation.
Yeah, I can already see in your two's heads, you guys recruiting some of the guys you've seen here. Hey, I will admit, I've done that on the other side, so...
Yeah. Well, like, there are some really good runners here, like, when you get some...
Oh, yeah.
Like, they make a good, like, a lot of use of, like, stepping and whatnot, a lot like we do now. So...
They developed that in the college game, and then...
Yeah.
Oh, and to that person that made that, like, help NRL fans pick their favorite team slideshow thing. Too much on the off-field stuff. Leave it to on the field, okay?
No, if I saw that.
Oh, was that slideshow where you were like, oh, I guess I'll have to root for the Bucks or Falcons now, or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, it took me a second. Like I said, I'm going on 2 hours sleep and then a day of work, so I'm a bit slow. I'm a bit slow.
Excuses.
Yeah, it was like, oh, they're Trump's favorite team. They had they're like, no one cares. Keep the on the field stuff. Throw that out. That's not why we watch it. Okay?
Yeah.
Watch it out. If I wanted to do that, I would have watched CNN right now.
Yeah. Well, we have the same thing over here. When the media start going on, that's why I stopped watching NRL 360, because it became more about the drama. Like, it was like,
Sweet trying to Dave our Steelers.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell are you doing? Get back to actually talking about the game. And
this ain't a soap opera.
Yeah, like, and it became really bad the last 2 years. Last year I was sort of on the edge, and then this year I just stopped watching. I couldn't do it anymore.
You ever watch the HBO series Hard Knocks?
No, I haven't.
It's where they follow a team in training camp.
Yeah.
It's a different team every year. Oh god. I think NRL 360, but
Yeah, so we've had like a couple of decent sort of pre-season training things which have been good. Tigers did one when Ivan was there, without trying to bring up painful memories, but that actually was a really good series. I enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, that was
but
really
now
good.
it's
That
just
four-parter.
done milking the ad revenue.
Yeah.
Oh, we're approaching the field goal I was talking about.
All right, let's see how we go.
This obviously isn't it.
No, not here, but yeah, it's coming.
Oh yeah, that's totally a field goal. Best field goal I've ever seen in my life.
I can't believe they didn't call it. All right, let's see how he goes.
Person ask.
What the hell was that?
That went out and then back in a long arm play.
First and ask.
Yeah, that looked like he almost curved it around the goals.
Yeah, like a 360 around the goalpost and then straight back through the middle. Spiral.
That's insane. The spin he must have had on that ball, so I don't know, that's crazy. That's like a soccer kick.
Well, this game was played in London, so...
Oh, really?
Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why.
Are they trying to, like, grow the game internationally at all?
Lately, with this commissioner we have, I don't know.
It's sort of a guessing game, is it? That's so weird that we've got the exact same thing with our game at the moment, where you just don't know what's coming.
Want to trade?
I don't know you want Volandis. Before you know it, you've got weird rules and stuff happening.
I don't... No, with Goodell, you won't even be able to touch players. You have to socially distance tackle.
Imagine that. That'd be the weirdest thing ever.
What, do you use the Force or something?
Yeah, it's so weird. These are not the droids you're looking for.
For Jacksonville's first win of the year.
They look so happy too. Yeah.
Yeah, they won their first game of the year.
That looks like it would have been an entertaining game to watch. It was really tight.
Yeah, like I said with the suck games, you don't know what you're gonna get.
It's we definitely know that feeling. It's the same here.
Okay, Flex, got a couple random questions for you.
Okay.
Obviously, in the NRL, rivalries and rivalry matches are a pretty big deal and hyped up.
Oh, we have quite a few.
Yeah, what are some of the biggest rivalries in the NFL, and does your team have any?
Well, if you take a look at the NFC East in general, Dallas, Washington, the New York Giants, and the Eagles, any combination of those are big. Bears, Packers, because they've been around since the league's inception. Niners, Cowboys, because of the 80s, 90s thing.
I just got a notification. Jordan Rapana has been sentenced after pleading guilty to drink driving. There you go.
Geez, there's like a lot. Steelers, Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Browns, Ravens, Bengals, Browns, because it's Battle for Ohio. Patriots, Jets. Jeez, there's a bunch. Oh yeah, Niners, Rams.
What about Super Bowl rematches? Do they try and get a Super Bowl rematch the following season?
Yeah.
And do they often get pretty hyped?
Sometimes, but in certain circumstances, it just ends up being a dud. Because they have it like within the first 3 weeks of the season, so it's like, really?
No one's really warmed up yet.
Everyone's still rusty.
If you have it like late in the seasons where it actually means something, fine.
Yeah.
Not like week 2.
Yeah, see, with us, it's just TV revenue. They don't care. They just want you to watch. So if the quality's bad in that first 5 rounds, no one cares. Just watch the TV.
They have had early ones to where it's worked. That I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But the ratio is like 90-10 bad. Especially if the Super Bowl is a blowout the previous year.
Oh, that was a good run.
Patriots without Tom Brady.
Here's a 1st and 10. Jones down the field he goes, and he's got a strike.
Because yeah, in the NRL, they usually like to have 2 grand final rematches through the season of the previous year.
Yet again, it kind of goes with the you have 16 or so teams. We have 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, in our competition, every team plays every team. So there's definitely going to be at least 1 grand final rematch every season.
For us, the Super Bowl rematches sometimes happen on circumstance, but also remember, they also go with conference championship rematches too.
Oh, yep.
So those are the last 2 games before the Super Bowl, aren't they?
They're the prelim finals, if you want to use that reference.
Okay, yep.
They often go with that too, especially if they are in division rivalries, because that has to play out twice a year.
Also, say if the AFC East,
if it's in the AFC East, if it's like the Patriots Jets, it's twice a year.
So if that's how the conference finals end up happening, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. And ironically enough, the conference championship rematch success is a lot better than the Super Bowl rematch success. Gee, I wonder why.
So what were the conference championships last year?
Last year it was Kansas City, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay, Green Bay.
Have any of those had rematches yet this year?
Let me look, because I think one has, and I think the Bills won that one.
Oh, intercept in the end zone.
That's a... okay, he returned it back, because otherwise it would have been a touchback.
And so what's that one?
Touchback, it gets put at the 20-yard line.
Oh, okay.
Personal foul. Forced collar tackle, number 11. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
Oh, ouch. 15 yards seems like a lot.
Yeah. That's like the second in terms of worst penalties.
It's interesting because that tackle is perfectly legal for us. That was a huge hit.
Ulick, as we like to call it. I think I just sworn it happened. Wait. Okay, just... Did happen in week 5, and the Bills won that one, and it was close.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a reverse of the...
Yeah. I mean, that particular thing doesn't always happen, but at least it's a good game.
They really don't like that tackle.
Yeah, well, you're about ready to choke the guy to death.
Yeah. Yeah, see, for us, if you grab the guy's collar, well, it's fair game.
Another question. What is with America and their sports calling the winners of their competitions world champions?
Look,
I don't know if the NFL do it, but the NBA absolutely do it. Apparently, the Milwaukee Bucks are the world champions, even though it's not a world competition.
Look, that one I think is just marketing ploy.
It just sounds like, to me, it sounds like it comes across as just like hype.
Yeah, that's just marketing ploy. So
we aren't calling the Penrith Panthers the world champions now.
Well, you might not be.
You will never see me do that.
But there are a lot of people who seem to value the international game over anything else.
Yeah, but remember, with the NFL, you kind of have to, because we're like the only league that actually gives a damn.
Yeah, well, technically speaking, Yeah, with the NFL, they could call themselves world champions because they're the only real professional league running.
That's like, oh my god, must see TV.
Yeah.
Where you guys have the NRL, the Super League, the whatever.
Yeah, we have international games like the World Cup and that when they actually can play it.
NFL doesn't.
Like I think what you guys go from have your college football and then you have this.
Oh, college is if you think about it, it's kind of like the D League, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Development league, but not at the same time. Because college, there's like 100-something teams.
Yeah.
So I will say this though. In terms of fan bases, I'd say the funnest fan base is Buffalo's, because you know what they do in pregame at tailgates for fun?
What's that?
They put each other through tables.
That's crazy. So
you can go ahead and look that up. That is exact. And sometimes they set the tables on fire.
Must be mad wrestling fans.
No, it's just Bill's Mafia.
That's crazy.
Toxic fan bases. Like, are there any fan bases that are just pure awful?
Well, you're looking at two of them now.
Dallas and New England.
Well, New England you can kind of expect because they're one of the ones that had Brady.
So they're the ones who had like periods of success and let it go to their head, sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Just cocky and arrogant.
Now they're experiencing the lol cow phase after Brady leaves. So Dallas has just been insufferable since the 80s, so that one never really went away.
Yeah.
I think the worst fan base in the NFL it's kind of a tie actually between Raiders and the Rams. I'll tell you why. Raiders, as you know, used to play in Oakland, California. It used to be the Oakland Raiders.
Yep.
Until their owner got greedy and wanted to move them to Vegas. There was a time during the preseason when the Niners and Raiders would play a game. Well, that didn't happen for a while because one of their fans pretty much all but murdered one of ours.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. But now that the Raiders are in Vegas, which, I remind you, on the Raiders' history, this isn't the first time they've moved cities. They started off in Oakland, moved to Los Angeles, moved back to Oakland, now Vegas.
Wow.
They moved more than most teaching gigs.
They're the I've been everywhere team.
On the West Coast at least.
It's so weird that to have like teams just be like, oh yeah, we're up moving now, so like we're
sorry fans, but we're packing our bags and moving state.
Well, this is the second time for Oakland in that regard, because you remember they started in Oakland, moved to LA, then back, then Vegas.
Like our teams, generally speaking, are pretty entrenched in their like local identities.
Yeah, including the new expansion.
Yeah, the Dolphins.
They don't exactly have an identity yet.
Like, what are you doing?
Well, hey, now you have some team names in common. Plus, you have the Panthers, the Titans, the Titans, Cowboys, the Broncos, now the Dolphins.
Oh my God, we're becoming the NFL.
You don't have a Patriots yet, so
give it time.
Oh, yeah, that actually reminds me. I'll put it in the
Bring on the Perth Buccaneers, I reckon.
Where is it? I forgot to mention, because what I was doing, Aaron, I don't know if you saw this. But I decided, you know, because hey, why not? If the NRL wants to grow the league, I decided, because there's Major League Rugby, but it's rugby union. They're thinking about switching disciplines, so I figured. Give me 1 sec, I'll post it in the media one. Try my hand. Down a little big.
So they're basically union and they're gonna change to league.
They're thinking about it, as you can see on the map here.
Is there anything in particular that is causing them to think like that?
Not from what I've read. And
I do remember seeing that, or a smaller version of that.
Yeah, that definitely looks familiar.
The actual size one was too big for Discord, so I kind of had to just screenshot it.
Oh, that infuriates me. They're like, "Oh, buy the pay for thingy," and you're like, "No, thank you. I don't want to pay for Discord."
Yeah. And what I did was, some of the clubs have NRL ties. Storm taking Miami. Queensland taking Dallas, because obvious.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, eh?
Oh, yeah, this was after the play was blown dead. Where was I? And there was one other one. I have to relook at the map.
I remember you posting one
and
with less teams in Old Panther server.
Oh yeah, that was the cutaway of the map, because I did like sections at a time. The full map shows all the teams. So yeah, I figured try that, see what happens. I'm still working on the jerseys, by the way.
Quite the undertaking.
When you have a baseline, at least now that the logos are done, it makes it somewhat easier. But yeah, 32 teams.
So it's still a lot of work.
I never said it wasn't. Just that makes it slightly easier.
Yeah. Like, yes, I went from lots and lots of work to just lots and lots of work.
It knocks it down a couple ticks, at least.
Yeah.
The Cowboys beat the Patriots. The Patriots lost a game.
Well, that there had them at 2-4, so it's not like they're having a fantastic season.
It's the lull period. Oh, now we have Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers, aka Captain. Hey, and I'm quoting YouTuber Urinating Tree on this one. Captain Fat Fuck, leader of men.
Oh, both are 2 and 3 coming to this.
Yeah, and Seattle's in our division.
Not the sort of record you'd want to have going into a game with a team with the exact same record. A game like this one, when you've both got a 2-3 losing record, would be pretty intense. Because the winner knows they go back to an even
What's
record.
the 500? Yeah, if, just so you know, you want to watch some NFL stuff or something like that while I'm asleep or something, Urinating Tree and 5 Points Vids are the place to go.
Oh, okay, they're like the main go-to guys.
There are a couple of them, but yeah, they're ones, because they actually have a little bit of fun with it as well. Unlike you guys with the Catbros thing.
Yeah.
Have fun with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I get the terms lolcow of the week, tank bowl, Little thing with Captain Fat Fuck and such.
Yeah.
They cover other sports too, but that's their main bread and butter.
Yeah.
In fact, I think one of 5 points videos he mentions the NRL. Like the longest championship droughts.
Parramatta Eels.
No, I think he went like the South. This was before. I think it was the South Sydney Bears or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's funny, the last time Parramatta won was the year I was born.
Which was
1986.
Oh, that's 10 years before me. Jesus.
Yeah, and little old me in '93.
You're still young.
3 years. 3 years off.
Haven't seen the Parramatta Eels win a comp, and that's the way I want it to stay.
It's
In
the
terms of who I want
Sorry,
in
NSL, if
my
you're not listening,
lifetime,
but
I really don't care. Look, like I said with the people on the Reddit calling, like, you're a blue or a maroon, when I'm not even on the same continent. Seriously.
There's a song, Queensland is everywhere.
Yeah,
Look it up on YouTube.
A, I don't go with that logic, and B, I'm not even on the same continent. Why do you even bother?
Yeah. I don't know. The Reddit stuff is like, it's good because it's like I tend to gravitate back to it every so often, but like because it's the only real amalgamation of fans anywhere. But they can definitely have their negative moments.
Yeah, but they're trying like lump me in with when I'm not even on the same continent.
Yeah, it's like, guys, it's okay. I have no stake in this fight. But like a lot of Kiwi fans are like that, where they're like, I'm just gonna have fun with it.
I mean, in terms of the national teams, I'm USA all the way.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where that ends, because you don't have a rooting interest in NRL team, and neither on the Origin side. Heck, they could tie for all I care.
Yeah. Which thankfully our rules don't allow for that.
Well, in the regular season, and you can tie, but in the playoffs, you can't.
Yeah. So, yeah, with us, you can tie in the regular season, and yeah, in the finals, it's impossible. In the Origin, it's impossible.
Yeah, well, yeah, because there's 3 games.
Yeah, but like they give you, we have regular time and golden point and all that sort of stuff, and they basically, it's like unlimited. Like if you were tied, say in a finals game, they would keep going until somebody scored a point.
well, yeah, it's actually extra time
Well,
now in grand final, in final series games.
Oh, it's like
Since 2016, they introduced extra time.
yeah.
Ironically enough, last time the Sharks won. And it's actually kind of funny for Sharks, because the Sharks broke their 50-year curse the same year the Cubs both broke their 106-year World Series curse.
That's crazy. Because their fans must have gone
That's a bit
off
of a
100 years.
106 years.
Like there would have been some partying that day.
However,
That's only a small hoodoo. What are you talking about?
I don't know if you've seen the movie Back to the Future. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, most people have.
But remember, they said the year they went back to, they said the Cubs won the World Series. They were 1 year off when they actually did it.
Huh. That's crazy that they got so close.
Well, hey, now the Cleveland Indians, or excuse me, the Cleveland Guardians, as they're now called, I'm not even going to get into that,
Yeah.
now have the longest drought in MLB history.
Now that everyone's trying to be politically correct.
I'm not going to go into that. Yeah, take a look at Washington. Take a look at Washington.
I try and avoid that stuff. Like,
So do I.
you see it all the time on Twitter. Like, it just shows up randomly, and you're like, "Oh man, I don't want to see. I don't want to get involved in this."
Like how
I'm
they've
like, nope.
renamed so many brands of lollies and shit just to try and be politically correct.
Yeah, it's everywhere now. It's the way it is.
Oh, and I'm playing satire here, so relax. Wouldn't they have to change all the animal team names because that offends PETA?
It's a bit like that.
I'm speaking satirically. Relax.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Jokes are allowed.
Yeah.
Humor is okay.
Yeah, you haven't heard some of our sarcasm in some of our streams.
Most of some times
we just let loose.
Yeah. The only time we really draw the line is like when we had that. Remember that we had that question last stream, and someone was like, "Oh, can I say the N word?" And I'm like,
"Yeah, that was just stupid."
That one's a no-go.
I'm like, "Come on, man!" Like, we tried to play it off and not be too serious with it because we don't want to come down on people, but it's like you have to draw a line somewhere.
Are you that freaking stupid?
What N word were we mucking around saying?
I said North Queensland.
Oh yeah, that one.
Like, it's okay, you can say North Queensland. He's like, no. Because I'm like...
Go with narcissist.
Yeah. But like, yeah, if we don't want to get the stream going after or anything like that, like...
No crap, really?
You know, and...
Oh, to be fair, I already got you demonetized with that Brady thing.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing we're not monetized, so we can say whatever we want about Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Because we have, like, 1 or 2 people watch a stream a week. We have no audience anyway.
Well, I attempt to, it's just the if I'm awake.
Yeah, the time thing.
The good news is I do, when I get the chance, watch the replay.
Oh, well, that's cool. I'm glad someone enjoys it.
One has to.
Like, I try and listen back to bits and pieces, but it's so awkward listening to yourself.
Yeah, I hate doing it, especially when I've appeared on other podcasts.
Yeah.
I feel so weird listening
this
to myself
is
back.
because this is recording, so I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it and see if there's anything worth grabbing out of it. And it's gonna be so hard to do. What was that, sorry?
The most likely is knowing logic today.
At least we've got, like, you know, the incessant nagging questions, so we can have some of that up. Maybe a gif of your head exploding, having to answer questions.
Yeah, like that other day when we were bombarding you with questions in the server.
People sometimes tell me, have I lost my mind? I tell them, buddy, I lost it a few years ago. I do not know where it is, nor do I care.
It's gone. We accept this.
Just rolling with it.
Just yeet.
I think that's a fact of being a sports fan. You just, somewhere along the way, it just goes.
Yeah, especially when you support a team like mine who just suck ass all the time.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Val Holmes playing under a bad coach. We had Matt Elliott at one point. Holy crap. It's basically the same thing.
I'm actually kind of hoping some of the American guys actually go over and try your guys' sport, actually. Maybe that'll give the networks here a company, you-know-what, to get NRL games on channels we actually watch.
It's just really weird because you think, well, it's basically easy content.
Well, that, and also if NRL's trying to expand their game around the globe,
I think they were talking about taking an NRL trial game to the States a couple years back.
And obviously,
the Rabbits were looking at hosting it.
Where? Because if it was at Levi Stadium, I would have gone.
Denver, I think. The Broncos Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but Russell Crowe was the one pushing for it.
I think Denver would have been okay if they didn't have to deal with the altitude in Denver. Because it's not called the Mile High City for nothing.
That must be interesting.
There was an international game between New Zealand and
yeah,
they played
England
over there.
I will say this: Mr. Jerry Jones does have a stake in North Queensland. Why not have a Queensland Derby at AT&T Stadium in Dallas?
That guy looked like he had a child's dummy, like a pacifier. Or his mouth guard or whatever that is. He didn't think we'd noticed, but I did.
Somebody had to.
We see everything.
I know, having children, like, my eyesight naturally picks those things up, like, in an instant. I'm like, I see it. He's got a dummy. Or pacifier, I guess Americans call it over there, but...
The mouth guard.
Yeah. They're a lot more flamboyant than us. We have this thing where it's like, if you're flamboyant in any sense, you automatically are a bad person. It's so weird over here, our culture. But the difference... I kind of like it. It's nice. It's like, hey, I did that cool thing. Go me.
Well,
well, that's awkward.
Thank you, Pittsburgh, for beating Seattle. Anyway, yeah, I mean, hey, Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, has a stake in North Queensland.
Oh, does
Why
he?
not? Yeah.
Interesting.
If you take a look at the two logos, there's a reason why I make that comparison.
I'll have to, go back and double check
the game by taking the Dolphins trial games to the States next year. Oh, in 2023. That'd be pretty cool, I reckon. Like, take the new expansion over there and introduce them to the rest of the world.
The problem with that is I think you've got to let them sit.
Why don't you take an established team, though, to get the fans interested? Like, this is one of our best... These are two of our best clubs.
Yeah, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be picking two good teams. Yeah,
also,
like...
one of our biggest rivalries.
And well, if you want a big rivalry, I know one. Take Panthers Tigers over there. You'll have everyone hooked.
Hey, have that Levi. I'd go with bells and whistles on.
Because I mean, even though the Tigers, are the Tigers at the moment, for some reason they always show up against us. So the game's like really good. Our first game we played last year was almost like a state of origin, but club football. It was crazy.
Yeah, at least we rock up to a couple of games every year.
Hey, let's just say, if that game's at Levi's, I'd go.
Who would you be supporting? That's the question.
I'd be happy to be there seeing an NRL game, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that'd be
the
one
diplomatic
of those,
answer.
Yeah.
Well done.
But that'd be one of those things. You just got to enjoy the atmosphere and get into it.
Yeah, if we finally get an NRL game in the States, who cares? You guys
go supporting both teams. Like, have some merch for both teams.
I don't have any merch from any, so...
It'd be winter, so you could have a hat or a beanie from one team and the scarf from the other.
Oh, that was a good. I like that. That was hell of a.
Yeah, I agree. Depends on what time of the year that game would be.
Well, the trial matches they're in February, so it'd be winter for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. The trick is it doesn't snow here in San Francisco.
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, we've had maybe one game in snow and one game in partly snow here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tigers actually played in that snow game. Back in 2000, their first season in the comp, they're playing in snow against Canberra.
This is why most of your teams need a dome. I'm joking.
Hey, I wouldn't argue as a fan, because, like, I remember going to Panthers game last year on Central Coast here with the Warriors based up here, and it was so miserable. We hated it because the weather turned and it started raining and it was just miserable. Like, yeah, we did one of them. But like a dome would just completely count out that weather. It'd be great. You could go any game, any weather.
A retractable roof, because somebody would want the natural light. So
yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah, you get the best of both. Then you can have that nice afternoon sun or whatever. And
Training just closed the roof.
To my knowledge, there's actually only one stadium in Australia that has a retractable roof.
Which is
Marvel Stadium down in Melbourne.
yeah,
Oh,
down,
yeah, I've heard
down
that.
in Melbourne.
Okay, I'll give you
Used
guys
to be
a
known as
trade-off.
Etihad.
Okay, I have an idea for a trade-off. You guys give us that West Panthers matchup and that Queensland Derby in Dallas. They'll give you Dallas versus any team in the NFC East and a game of your choosing.
That's a Falcon. Off his head. Sorry, that was just out there.
Hey, I'd be reacting the same way. Was reacting the same way when I saw this live, so I'm not mad.
And then
Those
to
NFL
top it
calls
off,
are the same.
he
smaller
makes the
than-
catch.
Julio Jones, one of the best wideouts in the league.
Like this ball they use in the NFL is quite clearly a lot smaller than the NRL ones.
Yeah,
Just by looking
that
at
I
it.
agree.
Yeah, big difference.
What are they made of? Are they made of like leather?
And picked.
So would they be hard if they bounced off the helmet, or would it hurt?
Not really, actually. There's a lot of padding in the helmet, so not really that big of an issue. In fact, at most you'll feel like a tap on your shoulder-like feel.
Sometimes I see a Falcon in the NRL and I'm surprised the player can stay on, especially a Falcon off a ball that's gone really high up.
Yep.
Like a nice big bomb.
The ones that really
Falcon
injure them,
someone.
that you see like concussions and that, is when they kick it and it goes straight into the face off the kick. There's been a few
Oh,
concussions off that.
That happened in Dragons vs Dogs, either 2020 or 2021. I forget which season it was, but I'm pretty sure it did.
They're the ones that, because that's the all the force is still in the ball then.
Yeah,
And you're
also
clocking it.
remember,
really
you guys
late.
don't have helmets.
Yeah, it was really late in the game too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was maybe 2020.
And the 15th consecutive regular season game, the Bills have a halftime lead. Look pleased for any of the first 30 minutes from what I could see.
But yeah, because obviously we don't have the helmets. Even when they do wear something, the headgear, like it's just that little bit of padding on the head. Your face is still exposed and everything. So
Yeah.
whereas these guys, it's kind of like cricket or something. Everything's protected.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you guys heard my proposal, but those two NRL games I mentioned, you guys get at Queensland County Bank, Dallas versus any team in the NFC East, because it's a big rivalry,
Yeah.
and another game your choice at MCG.
Well, neither I could go to because they're both interstate for me.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, if you want, I'll throw in an extra game.
Give us one in Sydney and I'd love to go.
Okay.
Give us one at ANZ for sure.
Okay, I can go with that.
A big Sydney stadium.
What teams would you
80,000.
choose for the two open games? What teams would you choose for the open games?
I just want whatever's the most highest quality game. I think.
Bring like a
just to-
Super Bowl rematch or a conference rematch.
Yeah, just
Okay.
give us a high quality game so we can enjoy the game itself and the atmosphere and get into it.
Okay, well, take a look at this. I think this one would be pretty good for one of them.
Give it to Henry. Into the end zone. Titans
And if you want and the other one, I'm trying to think.
6. Diggs has been the guy on third down.
Carolina, Cincinnati.
And Beasley both with 77 yards each
Oh my god.
receiving.
What a coincidence.
Add to that total.
Hey, I could go with that.
Al looked like he wanted to load up, and he
Joe
does.
Burrow versus Sam Darnold.
Diggs, underthrown, and the
Hey, we
flags
have
come in.
We can have a few drinks, get into the rivalry, have fun with it.
You can't
Yep.
settle your feet
Yeah, that's pass interference.
Yeah, so that's a penalty, is it? Or they call it a flag,
Yeah,
I
he didn't go
guess.
for the ball. The defender didn't go for the ball.
Allen wants to throw out of it.
That's actually, yeah, that's you have a bit of crossover in the rules there. You've got to be going for the ball as a defender too.
Yeah.
Up 5, go for 2.
No, but that'd be insane because yeah, we've got the 80,000.
Oh, the special again.
Oh my god, they passed it twice. Are they allowed to do that?
Yes, it's legal.
You never really see it. Normally the quarterback just gets it and tosses it off wherever. And
Really special, as they call it.
no, yeah. So it's in Sydney we've got ANZ, which is the 80,000
Yeah.
seat stadium. So if you got a game there, you'd probably sell out.
I think they've had to
And
go back to
the only
calling it
reason-
Stadium Australia now.
I don't even remember. The names here change all the time. I'm sure.
Naming
Gee.
rights, the ANZ
Gee,
naming
that's
rights
not
ran out.
Yeah, I'm sure Flex is familiar with stadium naming rights.
The big motherfucking stadium in Sydney. Okay, let's just call it
Yeah,
that.
we'll just call it that. But yeah, I'm sure you guys have your own naming rights stuff that goes on with stadiums over there.
There are a couple that have not sold out.
Okay, yeah.
Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Soldier Field in Chicago. There's one other one. I'm trying to think.
43, this from 38 in the backfield. Now goes out with a pattern.
Runs
Yeah,
on
Paul
with a fan
Brown
offer when they
Stadium
named them
in
after betting
What was that?
agencies.
And Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati are the three that have yet to
Oh yeah.
sell out and won't.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But holding on to sort of tradition there.
Yeah. Curly Lambeau was the founder of the Packers. Soldier Field is when the site of the stadium used to be an army base. And
Oh, yeah.
Paul Brown was the founder of the Bengals.
That makes sense. So they're pretty special to
Why?
those clubs.
Yeah. Oh, no wait, and hold on, I actually have to call Packers one by its proper title. The Frozen Tundra at Lambeau Field. I have to go with its proper title.
So it gets cold there.
Yeah, you're in Wisconsin, what do you expect?
Well, yeah, I'm not familiar with your geography.
Yeah, last time I checked, in the winter months, it snows in Green Bay.
That'd be interesting. So do they play in it or?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And the Lions are within the area of snow in the winter.
Yeah.
One of their old coaches made them practice outside to get ready for the cold. Then they play in a dome.
Oh, there's a flag on that.
Hold on.
Oh,
Yep,
there
that
he
negates
is.
the touchdown.
Yeah, he gave him a little yank there at the end. And so he made them train outside in the cold, but they play in a dome.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
And you wonder why the Lions have been this bad for that long.
Like, that is just some stupid things people do in sport.
It has to be the dumbest.
Oh, that was nice.
3rd and 6. Allen wants to run out of there. Titans try to punch that ball out. Allen will try to leap.
Why would they have not gone for a field goal to tie it up there?
Did he make that?
No, we got the first down, not the... Oh, never mind. Half a yard short.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking if you got that first down, because that's still pretty decent.
There's 20 seconds left on the clock. Why would they not have gone for a field goal there?
6 points are more than... And 3.
But you got a better chance of getting the 3 than you do of getting the 6.
6 would have won it.
I reckon they just threw that one away.
He got white line fever. He got too excited.
Well, that and the
So,
Titans'
geez, I'm
defense was
excited.
that good up front.
Yeah. Defense won that game.
Oh, speaking of Raiders and Broncos, another matchup that would be common in both leagues.
Yeah, see, so they were the Oakland Raiders. See, that's a name I recognized. If you'd said Las Vegas, I wouldn't have known who they were.
Yeah. Obviously, Raiders in this sense means different than the NRL sense.
Yeah.
I just realized something. Swap out the blue for that little red maroon type color.
Yep.
You'd have a perfect alternate logo. Oh, and also during the booth reviews or the bunker, whatever,
Yeah.
they don't have the crazy animation of like try or no try. It's just the ref announces it and it's boring.
Geez, I think with all the money this sport generates, they could give you an animation at least.
They don't have it. You'd think with all the people, somebody would want to sponsor it.
Yeah, like, it's more revenue.
It's more about the sponsor. Get KFC there.
No, they're currently linked up with. They're currently officially linked up with McDonald's, so they have to be the ones to do it.
Yeah, like, I mean, surely they could offer it and get a bit of revenue.
Or Mackers, as you guys call it.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Also,
very abbreviate everything.
Hungry Jack's is basically Burger King here in the States.
Yeah, it's that weird thing where, like, it's basically the same thing, but slightly disconnected. I don't know the exact business stuff behind it, but...
Follow the Instagram pages of some of the Australian versions of it, and I look at some of the menus and I'm like, damn, why can't we get that here? Like, really?
Yeah, but you guys have the size on us, from what I understand, I think.
Yeah. Only your size... Like, our size small is your large.
Yeah, it's like... an interesting one. So some of the pizzas I've seen come from over there, like, look kind of garbage.
Specifically, which ones?
Like, some of them, like, obviously, it obviously changes depending on where you go. They've probably got some that are really great. But I've noticed some of the ones that get, like, talked up heaps are, like, plain cheese pizzas. I'm like, what's with that?
That's more for the people. It's mainly to compensate for food allergy stuff in certain cases.
Yeah. I'm
so
like,
that's why.
There's probably places that do some good gourmet stuff, but...
Yeah, and like I said, it depends on local versus chain store.
Yeah.
Also, there's different styles. There's New York thin crust, Chicago style, Detroit style, and trust me, the pizza tastes better than their football team.
You'd hope so.
And there's one other one. But yeah, like New York, you have like the one that's typically known. You have the Chicago, which is sauce is on the top of all the toppings and such. Chicago style.
Yeah.
Detroit is pretty much the same thing as Chicago, but only it's just little dollops of sauce, not like the whole flipping thing.
Oh, yeah.
There's one other one. I'm trying to remember what state. Yeah, it's like the same with barbecue. There's like Kansas City, Texas, North Carolina, and Tennessee. Something like that, in a way.
Yeah.
But seriously, some of the menu items in Australia, like, I'm like petitioning, can they bring that here?
Anything in particular that jumps out at you?
There was one KFC item. Thankfully, one of the advantages of having multiple tabs open.
My go-to with KFC is the Wicked Wings.
Okay, I don't think we have that.
They're like little, basically crispy, spicy wings.
Okay, where are you? I'm like scrolling through, trying to figure it out.
See, Aaron, I think he fits right in with us. Like, he goes just as off topic as we do. It works.
I'm probably gonna have to head off soon and organize some stuff anyway.
Okay. Okay, yeah, like I said, anytime you say, like, after this game, hey, we want to stop, that's fine with me. It's not like I can't add to this.
The collection will be there.
Yes.
Yeah, that,
Growing
and there's more
weekly.
things.
And the good thing is, it'll, as far as I know, being YouTube, should track where we're up to, so we can just quickly go through, click where we're up to, and keep going.
I can screenshot it, actually, so there you go. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at my save now. I know I saved an initial one.
Because I think we're going on our time, 6 o'clock.
It's
So-
almost midnight.
Yeah, so we probably we can have dinner and you can actually get some sleep.
Sleep, what's that?
Trust me, sleep is a dirty word in our house.
I can tell. Yeah, it was like this chicken mac and cheese thing. Hold on, I should be able to find it.
Oh, that was nice little play.
Here somewhere.
We'll admit I do like I am biased towards the running plays. But when I used to play Madden games, I'd like have to create a player, be a pro, whatever they call it in the Madden games, and I'd always play a running back.
Create a player, you got it right.
Yeah, I'd always play as a running back.
You know, you'd think I'd have. You think in the Instagram save file you have they would have the decency to label these freaking things?
Yeah.
Make it easier on the rest of us.
User friendly isn't something that happens a lot.
Okay, can't argue with that.
There's a lot of like drop ball in this game.
Fighting for extra yards. 2nd and 8. Bridgewater, and that pass is caught, and then a hard hit. 2.5 to go in the 3rd. Bridgewater in trouble, steps up, and he's taken down at the 40.
God, he's dropped it again. You need new gloves on, guy.
Hey, you think the gloves would have more grip than they actually do?
Yeah, like maybe get some of the spray our guys use.
I mean, stick them.
It's like this game has been crazy for drop balls. That was good.
Okay, one last question, Flex.
Okay.
The Tigers are often considered the meme team of the NRL. Who's the meme team of the NFL?
Well, Detroit's one of them. But there's also the Atlanta Falcons. You ever heard of the 28-3 game?
No.
Falcons blew a 28-3 lead in Super Bowl 51 against the New England Patriots.
Ouch.
And they have not stopped choking ever since.
Oh no.
It's like the Canberra Faders 2.0.
Yeah. That is bad.
Is how deep into the game did they have that lead before they started to blow it?
Started the second
Like
half.
second quarter, third quarter?
Started the 3rd quarter.
So they just didn't show up in the second half.
That sounds exactly like the Raiders. They found their soulmates.
At least the Raiders first had an excuse. The Falcons didn't.
Oh, he's over.
Great effort after the catch. And it's a Denver touchdown. For Waller for 18 yards. Looking for him here, and he's got it. Surtain pushes him out of bounds. 3rd and 6.
You should have stepped back inside. You would have scored that.
No, it's illegal to step out and then step back in.
Yeah, see, that's where our guys, they would have stepped off their left foot. And that last line of defense, that guy at the back, there's no way he would have got him then. Because all these momentum's coming across, so if he steps off his left foot and comes back in, the defender just wouldn't have caught him.
Yeah, young Benji Marshall pioneered that one.
Show these guys some Benji highlights, jeez. Okay, it'll blow their minds.
I have actually seen like some American YouTubers reacting to NRL highlights. I've seen the one that reacted to a Benji highlight video, one that reacted to a Hayne highlight video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Gee, kind of like you did with the Brandon Ayuk one.
So what, I've only seen one or two, and they just react to big hits, and it's like, oh yeah, kind of generic.
Well, one of the fan pages on Instagram I'm with liked your Brandon Ayuk video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They even liked the part, it's the Ayuk, you dumb Westie.
That's cool. I like that.
So, say that video. Oh, that menu item next. Good.
Yeah, that's alright. It's just interesting to see the cultural differences and all that.
Well,
I do think I got rid of that video. I went through and deleted a bunch of videos, so that one might be gone now.
Don't worry about it.
I just got to a point where I was just struggling to genuinely make content I wanted to at one point. That's why my scripted content hasn't been done for a little bit yet.
Every YouTuber has it. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, speaking of the cultural differences, there is the joke going around that Aussies are just British Texans.
I like that. That's funny. That's awesome.
Okay, so I'm guessing after this we're gonna can it.
Yeah, we can leave it there and.
All right, I'll screenshot where we were last and go from there.
No worries.
All right, nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, that was really cool. I really enjoyed that.
And Aaron, don't worry about asking questions. Okay, remember I'm going to be doing the same thing on the NRL side, so it balances out.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll have you come on to watch an NRL highlight reel, and you can ask us questions instead.
Yeah.
Next season.
Why are NRL players so stupid? Like, seriously.
I'd be like, wait, that's a flag. No, wait, wrong sport. Oh, wait, that's a flag. No, wrong sport.
and half the time, it'll actually be a penalty, but the ref just doesn't call it. So
yeah.
Oh, gee, they've been doing it all day, sir.
That is a meme for good reason.
Tom Brady on the field, you expect them not to call it.
Yeah. My dad used to do the thing where he's like, "Oh, he's been doing it all day, sir. He's even in the warm up."
No, it's never too soon to start.
Like Allen Iverson, we talking about practice.
Yeah, it's
all right.
But it's good. Yeah, we'll definitely get it going. But yeah, we actually got a fair way through that. So we're at 11 now. The next one, it just skipped to the next one. So Texans Colts week 6. So we're actually 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead and screenshot that.
Not bad. But yeah, next time I click on that, it should like come up
if
there.
It has
but
the red bar underneath means we've watched it.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, but it was fun. Thank you for coming on. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No worries. All right.
Thanks for teaching me about a million things.
Yeah, with all their questions.
No problem.
What is that penalty? Well, do you have half an hour?
It's like Jacksepticeye saying, "Do you have 90 minutes?"
Yeah, we might need a PhD to understand some of those rulings.
I'll see if I can forward you guys the PDF of the NFL record and fact book. I'll include you guys in.
No worries, sounds good. All right.
All right.
Till next time.
See you guys later.
Ta-ta.
Till next time.